Hi, welcome to Think Human. I'm Chris, and in this video, I want to talk about why AlphaGo is such an amazing achievement. The first machine computer system that defeated a human player in the game of Go. Now, to get a little bit of perspective on this issue, we can look back at when the computer program Deep Blue beat the best human player, Garry Kasparov, in chess in 1996. And before this victory happened, people thought about this: by the time that a computer system actually wins a human being in chess, that computer system must be as smart as a human being to be able to do that. Now, of course, we know what happened. Uh, Deep Blue beat Garry Kasparov, and after it, people were like, "Oh no, it's just computer system. It follows algorithms. There's no thinking going on there. Nothing special." And this is kind of interesting pattern how it seems that humans go. Like, we set these kind of goals or benchmarks, and once we reach them, we're like, "No, this is not so special. We need something even more to attribute any kind of real intelligence or consciousness to something." And fair enough, since we understand how the systems work better. Of course, the way that Deep Blue worked in this chess game was by brute force. So it just goes through every possible option and looks at the one that's most likely to result in a victory. Now, there are a few similarities between chess and Go, but they're quite different games. So chess is played in a board of 8 by 8, and Go is played in a board of 19 times 19. And in Go, all the pieces are the same, and they're quite simple rules. You kind of have to capture areas of the enemies and make big areas for yourself. Um, Simple rules, but really complex games. And it's been calculated that the configuration on this board, 19 by 19, the possible states of the board is larger than the number of atoms in the known universe. So quite many possibilities. So here it's not possible to take the brute force approach anymore. You cannot possibly go through every one of these options because it's just so much information to go through. So a way how AlphaGo was built was by type of machine learning, deep learning, using neural networks, which are really loosely based on human neurons. So it's funny to see how the progress went. 2016 in March was the time when Lee Sedol was beat by the AlphaGo system, and before that it was in the span of about a year from some really easy. The AlphaGo was still in its easy stages and progressively getting better. So the first time before Lee Sedol even played the game with AlphaGo, he said that, yeah, I've seen the system. It's quite good, but I can definitely beat it. And the game went by, and yeah, he could beat it. Then he had another game a little bit while later, and he was like, "Well, this was tougher than I expected, but I'm still confident I can win the next game." A little bit time went by, months passed, and he played again, and he was like, "Wow, this is surprisingly difficult. The machine has really improved a lot. I'm really hoping I can beat the next game." And the final game, AlphaGo absolutely annihilated Lee Sedol, the best human player arguably in Go. At the time at least. And Lee Sedol after the match said that, "I don't know what happened. I felt kind of powerless." And this is really interesting insight into how, if you have good algorithms that know what to do, then how quickly these things can actually learn if they're guided properly. It's incredible power of machine learning, and in the span of less than a year, it went from, "Oh, pretty good, but like I can definitely beat it," to, "I don't know what happened. I felt powerless." So this is really fascinating and gives an insight into technologies that we might have in the future that can have even deeper and more profound impact. A year later, from this 2016-2017, these DeepMind researchers introduced AlphaGo Zero, and this learning system, this program to play Go, it also played chess, and it had no help, no researchers, no experts, nothing telling it what to do. It just had to win. It just had to have a higher score than what it was playing with, and it was playing against itself countless games, and within 24 hours it was more powerful than the AlphaGo original one. It was more powerful than any computer program before, and in chess as well, and there was some other game as well. Incredible advancement. And Also, it's interesting to see these kind of Go experts look at these systems play and they're like, wow, like they see moves that have never before been made in the history of mankind. So a machine has thought up things that we couldn't even imagine before in thousands of years or however long we had this Go game. So that is fascinating, and also the way that like we said before, it's not enough to have this kind of brute force learning. The machine in a funny way had to be kind of creative, to have predictions, to in some point be willing to lose in order to gain more later, this kind of strategies and things of what's the best way to win. So this is fascinating, and I just think it's like really interesting where we are right now. Many researchers said, like, just it's so funny, like few years before AlphaGo was created, before the system beat the human player in Go, the best human player, Machine won. uh, Researchers before that said it will take decades and decades before we reach such a level of technological advancement, and then it happened a few years later. So again, tells us that even experts cannot predict these kind of things. Some breakthroughs, changes that can happen in short amounts of time. So that's incredible, and this progress that we're on, this technological advancement, is amazing. So I hope you got something interesting out of this video. Thank you so much for watching, and take care.